Greetings. Welcome back, everybody. This is going to be another general guidance reading. And if you guys are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you. And if you guys are existing subscribers, you guys like to check in from time to time, welcome back. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. So, I have a message for you guys. If it calls for me to pull cards, I will. Otherwise, this is just a message that I received from Spirit. And okay, so this may or may not resonate with everybody. You guys know the spill, you know the drill. Please use your discernment, okay? Ask Spirit to confirm whether or not this message is for you. And for others of you, you already know this is a confirmation. You'll know it is your confirmation, or it's a revelation to something, a piece to a puzzle, whatever. But I would always say to take it up with God and your spiritual team, your beloved spiritual team, and ask them to guide you. All right. So I heard the word expendables, and that could be how somebody feels. For some of you, that might, I won't say majority of you, but for some, or maybe you used to feel that way, that you were expendable. What I get from this is that when I was just like sitting with Spirit and I was asking Spirit some questions and, things I just didn't understand, like, what's going on, where, what am I supposed to be doing type of questions. Am I doing something wrong? Those questions where we feel like, okay, what am I doing? Why am I in this position, with certain things? Or why does it feel like no matter what I do, nothing seems to be working? That could be how some of you feel. Like, it could be a specific goal that you have or something that you've been working on for quite some time, or something that you've been trying to achieve, something you've been trying to heal, overcome, whatever. And it's just like you feel like nothing's happening, nothing's moving, there's no break. But it's like a part of you knows that you're on the right track, or you know that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, or what you feel that you were divinely called or led to, whatever that might be for you. And it just feels like nothing's really happening, nothing's really moving. So there's two aspects to the word expendable, so I had to look it up. So one of those meanings is, if it's an object, says it's designed to be used only once and then abandoned or destroyed. So some of you guys feel like you might be an expendable in someone's life or others' lives, or in certain situations you feel like, I'm only good for one usage, or I've only been useful for, someone. It might feel like, for some of you, might feel like you're being used, taken advantage of, or taken for granted, overlooked. But then you have the other meaning, an adjective of expendable. It says of little significance when compared to an overall purpose, therefore able to be abandoned. And that's how you guys might feel. You might feel insignificant in some type of way, or that you hold little significance or importance in some type of way. You feel like, okay, well, what's the purpose of all of this? Is there a purpose? Do I have something to bring to the table? Or what am I not doing? What am I not doing right? That is the feeling, right? And feeling like you're being overlooked. That is another thing that I felt, this feeling of being overlooked. But then Spirit showed me something. Spirit showed me the Eight of Cups. I think it's in, not in this deck, but the same author, the same person that made this deck. Oh my God, I think it's called the Angel Wisdom Tarot. Let me look it up because I want to make sure that it's by Radley Valentine. I know that for a fact, but it's an angel deck that he put out, maybe, I think it was last year or the year before last. It was a deck that he put out with angels, the archangels in it. So Angel Wisdom Tarot. Yeah. In this deck, there's a depiction in the Eight of Cups where there's a door, and the man is like barely walking into the door and walking out of it. So, what Spirit was showing me with that, Spirit showed me the vision of the tarot card, of that specific card, and then I heard it's I can't really quite put into word, because how God speaks to me sometimes is not always in complete sentences. Like, it's symbols, it's phrases, and then I put it together because I'm understanding what's being conveyed, if that makes sense, if not later. But because I was asking a question, and then Spirit downloaded that feeling of people feeling expendable and overlooked. And then there was a door that nobody else saw. And that's when God showed me the Eight of Cups, that picture of the Eight of Cups. And then that's when I heard, I'm paraphrasing because I can't grasp the full thing, how it was said. I feel the impression of the energy, if that makes sense. So it was an impression that I got from that is, for those that feel like you're being overlooked, if it be that you were widely accepted, let's say, or you were going in the same door and the same path that everybody else was, it's kind of like Spirit was saying, you have an advantage over here, because everybody's, mixing and mingling like an ant race or whatever, a hive of people, but then on this side, you are the one that's kind of being left behind and overlooked, and you're in a place where you see something that nobody else can see, because everybody's caught up, they're all distracted, they're all looking at the same thing, they're so caught up with this one avenue, one area, but then there's a completely other path that you can't see. And that's when the door, it was like a door just appeared out of nowhere. Spirit actually was showing me an image. I'm trying to explain this in the best way that I can, y'all, because when I say that, like, God speaks and God shows me things, it's very hard to explain. It's not something like what one might experience it very different versus how I experience it and how the next person might experience when they receive messages from God or downloads, and how God speaks to them is very different from how God speaks to me and to the next person. But it was almost like a quick vision. It was very quick. Like, it needed to get downloaded in my spirit. So I seen it. It was quick. It wasn't a long vision. It was just something really quick that I saw. It was a person that was kind of like out by themselves. It looks like they were in a forest or something like that, and they're by themselves. And then all of a sudden, they look on the other side, and then they see a door, and nobody else saw it. So it was like, no one else is choosing you, no one's picking you, or it appears to be that you feel like you're just this overlooked person. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, there's a door that's there right by you that no one else would have saw. And you wouldn't have seen it if you would have been caught up in everything and everybody else. You would have been distracted. That door wouldn't have been there. So I'm taking you through doors. I'm taking you through a door that no one else can see or no one else is aware of. If it would have been that, again, you would have got caught up and distracted and picked by the world, picked by everybody, you wouldn't have been able to see where I'm taking you. So hopefully you guys get the gist, I guess, of what I'm saying, because the way that it was downloaded to me, I knew right away what Spirit was saying. I may not know what's on the other side of that door per se, but I felt the blessing of it, and how it can feel like you're just not important, or you're not significant, or you are down and out, whatever, and you're wanting to go about it in the way that everybody else does, and how everybody else seems to be getting by. Everybody else seems to be receiving what their blessings are, or so-called blessings, or whatever is for someone else, and how it is marketed to be normal, and how it should go, how it should manifest, and the time frame of it, and everybody else is doing one thing, but that's not everybody's way, if that makes sense. Your way is different. And if you were to get caught up in the world system of things and how everybody else gets it, how else would you be able to appreciate the divine blessing? And another thing that I picked up from that too, and this almost slipped my mind, was when you feel like you're casted out, that actually calls you and draws you closer to God, calls you closer to spirit. It calls you closer to yourself. When you have those moments where you feel, casted out, or you feel by yourself, it puts you in a place where you can find that connect with the divine, with the Most High. And it was 11:11 when I said that. And that's where you're able to see the other side of things. You can see the signs and the wonders and the magic and the miracles of God when you're not caught up and distracted by everything and everybody else and what everybody else got going on. So be blessed in that. Rest in your peace that you have. Rest in the privacy and the sacredness of your time and your energy and you. Okay? Those who are meant to see you, they're going to see you. Those that love you, allow them to love you and appreciate you. Be open to receive, not just to giving. Because it will come a time where God is going to take you to other heights and other levels that other people, they don't see yet. So, Spirit, you're going to have to help me with this message. I'm going to pull cards if I feel led to, because I'm channeling. Like, I don't need the cards right now. The feeling that I get from this is for those that are like kind of like in this place where you feel like, okay, where do I fit? And I found myself finding myself asking that question. I found myself finding that question. What? I really felt like, where do I fit? Like, in my intimate conversations with some people, I would always ask the question, like, I don't really know where I fit. Like, I don't. I'm going to use my channel as an example. I don't know where I fit in with the tarot world because I don't read like traditionally. My channel is not, I come on, I shuffle cards, I read, and I get off. Sometimes my readings will start off with me channeling messages, or I think I'm about to pull cards and then it's like I'm not pulling cards. I'm just channeling. I'm just sharing a message, or I might, get a unction to share a testimony or something midway in the reading, and that might steer some people away. It might benefit some, and it might be like, okay, I don't give a fuck. I just want to hear what the card is saying, so what's the deal? And one of my friends made a good point that we live in a microwave, society where everybody wants things quick, fast, here and now. So quick readings might benefit some, where others might appreciate a long message or read. It just depends on your flavor, right? And then sometimes I might channel Bible verses, or be led to talk about a story in the Bible that resonates with what I'm channeling or what I'm seeing in the cards. And that might also rub one side of people that are like, bitch, you're reading tarot, you shouldn't even be talking about the Bible, Jesus, or anything. And then there's others that's like, we got away from that. We're in the new age, we're in the spiritual community, we don't want to hear about the Bible and Jesus, we got away from all of that. So it's kind of like, I don't really know where I fit, right? In that perspective. So it's kind of an awkward energy, and if that's how you feel in some type of way, it might manifest differently. Of course, it doesn't have to be anything to do with your career, your business, or YouTube. It could be something completely different in life, where you might feel like you're a little awkward when it comes to your social life, where you feel like you might fit in with multiple different types of people, and sometimes you feel like you might not actually fit, if that makes sense. So this feeling of not, it's like an awkwardness about where to place yourself in life. You don't really know. And it's because Spirit is creating an avenue that's different. Right now we're still in a time where we're untangling ourselves out of social constructs and social norms. Um it's like we're still, freeing ourselves from that. And I guess that is a part of the new world, I guess you can say. So the truth is you're not supposed to fit in. You're supposed to stand out. And sometimes standing out might feel like you're being singled out, unfortunately, sometimes, until you get to a place where you understand the blessing in that position. And that it's not always going to generate a lot of people that get it or understand you or are quick to embrace you. Your story might be a little bit different, where one person is already married at 30 with kids. You're still trying to figure out your life purpose, and that to someone else might look like dysfunction, right? But let's say the person that's married at 30 with kids still doesn't know who they are and what their purpose is even about. And they feel miserable because they feel like the only purpose they have is just to be a mother or father and just be married and just come home, go to work, or maybe be a stay-at-home mom, and that's it, right? So we can both look at each side and be like, oh, you have a better advantage than me. Or and then on the other end, the other person is feeling like, oh no, well, I wish I had what that person had, and vice versa. If this is all making sense, I hope this is making sense. But what I'm getting from this is, at least what to take from this, however this registers or resonate with you, is that if you're feeling like an expendable person and you don't know where you fit in this world in any type of way, in any type of capacity, or you feel like you're not getting anywhere, you feel like, what is going on? What am I doing wrong? You feel that way. And it's just like, I'm following Spirit. I'm following my truth. I'm doing my purpose. Why am I still in this position? What is really going on, Spirit? For some of you, this is like something you feel like you've been dealing with all your life. I get it. But the advantage that you have is that while everybody is distracted in one area and in a rat race, or in a hive-minded energy, when you're in that wilderness, you're standing alone in the forest, you're by yourself, that door makes itself available to you, because otherwise you wouldn't have been able to see it unless you were casted out. And whatever is on the other side of that door is like Spirit is putting you in a position that otherwise no one else would have been able to see. And that's what the miracles and the blessing of it all is, because when it's a difference when it's a divine thing versus when we try to go out of our own way and do things and do stuff. Because sometimes it does work for people to do things in the way of the world. It might work for a time for those that are, the expendables that don't necessarily fit into the world system and social norms and all of that. It might work for a time for you, but that's not your path. That's not your way. And sometimes Spirit will use you and put you in certain environments and spaces and groups for a season, so that you can do your assignment and you can learn and expand and grow. It's like different job experiences, if that makes sense. Like when you have different trades, different jobs, you know, the more qualities and skill sets you have, okay, the better it looks on your resume, if you will. And I'm speaking of just like of a life experience. I'm using jobs as an example, but as a life experience, it's helping you on your journey. It's wisdom to take on your journey. So for a time, certain things will work. Certain relationships might only last for a time, and that's so that you can have the experience and understand and get the lesson out of it. But for those that are the so-called expendable, the overlooked ones, there is something exceptional about you because you're not fitting into the world system. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to be a light amongst that. So while the world is in a zombie state, someone has to be the one to breathe life into a dead land, speak into the dry bones. Whatever your purpose is, or whatever, whoever you are, you yourself is just a walking light, period. You yourself are a walking light. And no, your path is not going to be easy breezy cover girl. It's not going to be easy all the time. Matter of fact, sometimes people have to discard you, discredit you, abandon you, reject you, so God can show you and promote you and uplift you. I've seen it many times in other people's lives where it seems like you don't have the advantage, right? Or you seem like you are the laughing stock, and those are the ones that usually come up and they are the blessing to others. Spirit has also been like showing me the reference to the movie The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith. It's like that moment where you just kind of feel like giving up and you don't even want to push anymore. You have to keep going. And it's usually in those moments where you don't have nothing or nobody where you find the Most High, and that's when you find the light. And if you haven't gotten to that place, trust that you will. If you faint not. And what I mean by faint not is just give up and just say fuck it, or oh, I don't care. And you, the thing is, like, some people can go back into the world system and it works just fine for them. Many are called, few are chosen. It might work for some. But then there's those that cannot do that. They're never going to fit into the world like that because they're not supposed to. They are supposed to be the new. They're supposed to be the change. They're supposed to be the light. And as our fellow mystic, Jesus Christ or Yeshua, he wasn't popular and well liked. Matter of fact, people talk crazy about him all the time. He's a witch, he's this, he's that, he's crazy, he needs to be stopped. What is he doing? That's not how you do it. That's not right. That's not normal. You can't do that. Oh, he must be practicing. He must be doing some weirds. Like, he wasn't welcome. And it only wasn't until the miracles and the healings that started catching way and people started spreading the gospel and spreading the word of the things that he was able to do. And even Jesus said, you can do very, very well the same that I can do. And I'm paraphrasing, but what I'm doing, you can do it too. You're not supposed to fit into the world system of things. That's not your purpose. It's not your calling. Your calling is to be the exception, to be the light upon the world. And in this time that we're in, everybody is on one side or on this side. One side, I'm just going to go with what everything is what they say I should do. Oh, this is unsafe. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, this is safe. Okay. And sometimes we do, be in it. You still have to be in the world, but you're not going to be of it. And some of you can't even do it. You just can't. But for those that are on the opposite side, that chose the other, the other side of things, you are the light. And you're going to be looked at funny because you don't fit into everything. And it shows not just by your choices, your political choices. It could be in your dating decisions, the way that you choose to live your life. It could be the career that you choose, the way that you speak. Some type of way Spirit is showing you that you don't fit at everything. You don't fit into the world. You just don't. You can't do certain things that other people can, and that is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. So I might pull cards in another video because I didn't want it to just be this, but I guess this is the message that Spirit wanted me to deliver to someone or ones. The ones. Yeah. So I'm gonna do a separate video. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. But I don't even know if I'm gonna upload this because I feel like I couldn't get the message out clear. But yeah, much love as always. Peace.